Hello and welcome back to All I Do Is Fail. I am your host, Tom Elwes, back from the sand dunes of Dubai, back in the building. Father Tom here to give you what you've been missing, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm joined today, as ever, by my co-host, this Ali Woods guy.
Hello, everyone. He's back.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
back, baby. Father Tom.
Big Papa.
There was a big following of people who thought you'd just run out on your child. Was what had happened. You just walked out, an old teddy boy, and gone to Dubai on business.
Yeah.
But really, you just bought a studio bed flat in Hackney.
Well, she thought I didn't even tell her I was going to Dubai. She thought I'd just gone out to get vape juice and I was not gone back. But
vape juice,
yeah.
that's the new one. But we should explain though, even though it sounds maybe like Tom is still broadcasting from the Middle East, he's actually back in London. But we're not in the studio today.
Yeah, we're not in the studio today because of the heat, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently, our torture bunker of a studio cannot handle more than 4 podcasts in a row in this current climate. And of all the podcasts that were picked to be dropped, relegated to the bench of not being able to use the studio, looks like all I Do Is Fail was subbed to the bench, unfortunately.
A lot of places sort of have a loyalty scheme of who's been here the longest, they deserve the best treatment. But Vauxhall operates in the opposite way. If you've been here for a long time, they're like, fuck these guys, let's get someone new in.
Yeah, they're very much a sort of mobile phone company kind of contract model where they're all about new business. They don't give a shit about their existing customers. You'll just pay whatever because you're happy to be there.
Oh, 100%, man. You never get any deals for being there for a long time. But we love them. So there you go.
Thank you.
We're in a Stockholm syndrome style relationship.
Yeah. And allegedly, the heating issue is going to be solved on Tuesday. And I've been informed that showpiece of an air conditioner is allegedly not going to be an art installation anymore and will actually work. So
I thought that's where Mooch hid the money. I thought that's where all the cash was. In that. If you just gave it a quick knock, then about $2,000 would fall out in unmarked 20 quid notes. You know what the new system's going to be for cooling? It's just going to be a open mic spot. It's going to be you get a 5.
Yeah.
You get a 5 on a Tuesday, on our Tuesday in Vauxhall. If you're there with like a palm leaf when people are doing the podcast, that's what it will just be some guys like, hi, I'm Alan. I've just started doing comedy. Okay, Alan.
Fan harder.
Exactly. Yeah. You'll never win around the crowd with that lack of energy. You've got to put some effort into it.
It reminds me of a lot of that. Have you ever seen that clip on, I think it was on the Tottenham Football podcast of the 2 guys that are chatting, and one guy genuinely thought that wind farms cooled the earth down. He was just like, the big fans that cool the earth down.
What, anti-global warming?
No. He was like, yeah, that's they keep the earth cool. That's what they're good for the environment.
And what do they do?
No, well, apparently not. I was shocked as well.
Yeah. What an idiot. We obviously know that they help with farming.
Greenhouse gases somehow. They blow the gases away. That's what they're doing.
Yes, they're keeping aliens away, aren't they? Because they don't want to land if they might get chopped up by a wind farm. It's like having played. It's like a sort of Robot Wars style hypnodisc defense mechanism they implemented.
Ali,
have you seen how big those things are?
Oh, the Robot Wars, in real life, they're massive.
No, not Robot Wars.
They are. I remember. I got a photo next to Razor when I was about 12. Remember Razor? You know, the claw one. Yeah.
Do I remember Razor? Of course, mate. Champion. Yeah. Do I remember a champion of Robot Wars? Of course.
Razor and Chaos 2.
But that's the thing as well. They're called Razor, Chaos 2, Hypnodisc, and then there's just like a 45-year-old bloke from Slough who's there controlling them with their sort of 8-year-old boys who aren't allowed to touch the controller. No. It's not a game.
My favourite is when like a group of like school kids would go and they spent ages making like a shitty wooden robot and you're like, you're going to get annihilated, mate.
And then they watch Sir Killer Lot absolutely destroy it, just play with it, tease it, sort of dip it into the fire and shit.
What was it? Craig Charles being like, you've been decimated. You've been
absolutely destroyed by Sir Killer Lot. We'll see you next time.
Robot Wars. Yeah.
He's apparently a nutter, Craig Charles, man. He's sobered up now, but apparently during Robot Wars, Coronation Street, Radio 6, all that shit, he's just coke, booze, everything, man. Just he's a
Wild.
party animal. Yeah.
Going for it. You wouldn't
Apparently
think
he's still
Robot
sober now.
Wars was necessarily a big partying show, but that's interesting.
Mate, classic though. The nerds in leather jackets, they're the ones having the sex parties and all the shit. You know, it's all that. They had the fucking underground bit in Robot Wars where they had that lady going around talking to nerds. It was,
Oh
it
yeah,
was-
and they'd never spoken to a girl before, and it was like that
Yeah.
like, some hot like blonde presenter just like being like, "Yeah, so how
Yeah.
did you build this?" They're like,
You saw the fear in their eyes come out when she came over. And the best teams were always the ones that had no kids involved. They were so funny. They were like, "We're here to win."
Yeah, when it was graduates, when it was sort of engineering graduates.
That's it. So 24-year-old engineering grads just standing there, and they really hadn't talked to women before.
I remember one robot, and it must have been in one of the early seasons, was just like a big metal beach ball, and it just had a radio-controlled car inside it, and it would just, you know, it was kind of impossible to beat. It couldn't really attack anyone, but like you couldn't really attack it.
Hamster car, just getting involved. Fuck, man. Well, that was a good show though. They did bring it back, didn't they? And then
the appetite for Robot Wars has declined. I think you know what happened. Video games got better, so you didn't have to watch other people fight little robots.
No, exactly. And everyone had screens and videos of shit, and they just have videos. You ever found yourself on a particularly like lazy Sunday or whatever, watching these videos that are just sort of computer engineered ridiculous fights? Like I was watching.
It was like
10,000
German soldiers.
German versus like 3 million zombies or something like that.
Versus samurai. Yeah, it's when it's not even real things. It's like 100 Wolverines versus a million American soldiers who would win.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's one of those where it's like, oh, I want to see this. And then when you get about 4 minutes in, you're like, oh, they are just going to do... It's just like watching a computer program. It's not. There's no story in there. You don't get to know any of the soldiers. It's just like fire, and then you just skip to the end.
Well, I think that plays into like everyone has thought like if I went back in time and had to fight in like Knight's sort of Tale era, you know, medieval times. If you had a machine gun, how many of them do you reckon you could take out? Like, I think a fair few.
Mate, they'd be fucked.
Yeah.
What are they gonna do? Shoot an arrow at me? Fuck you.
Just waste
you with a Glock. Bang, bang, bang. You know what I mean? The thing is, as well, I always think that because I was actually, speaking of medieval, I was actually in Hastings the last couple of days.
Oh, very nice.
Is
that what you did to beat the heat? Was that?
Well, go down to the coach. I got
coach
my. How about this? I got my feet sunburnt.
Wow.
My feet.
Were they the only things poking out of your sort of full body covering?
I was in a niqab.
Yeah.
Full down to the floor. I thought I was sun creaming up. I was on the beach in Hastings. It was fucking beautiful. It was great. I haven't been in the sea in ages, and but just I was too cocky. Even though I was sun creaming up factor 50, I need to get the factor 100.
There is such a thing, I'm sure, just like full sunblock. They don't even call it a factor; it's just block, you know. And and it's sort of like paint. It's like thick, like oily paint. You just smear it all over you.
You go do white face. I'm doing white. I was like, how's he got even whiter? And it's like he's in his final form. He's just pure white with a ginger top.
The ultimate white.
But yeah, I was bowling around Hastings because obviously they have the battle and shit, and they have the castle and that.
It's good to see you doing touristy stuff. You know, none of that all down pub. All, you know,
what's the point?
To your girlfriend, you're like, we're going to battle reenactment. hope you bought your mage outfit.
Yeah. You said you wanted to do role play. Here we are. I was like, come on, quickly, we have to move. They're closing for lunch soon. We won't be able to get up. They literally did it as a small town. Hastings was, it's a town, and they just have all the things like will be closed 1 to 1:30 for lunch. Like they just close the operation. They don't like you can't get up to the castle 1 to 1:30.
That's the worst.
They're not asked. But I was saying this. How would you think you would do anyway if you went back 1,000 years? Because everyone was much smaller. So I feel like I'd be a beast. I'd be like the way like you look at 7-foot people now, or like, you know, these basketball players who are like 6'9". I feel like I'd be like that because everyone would be like fucking 5 foot.
Well, it's how far you go back in time, isn't it? It's like
1,000 years.
Yeah, like 1,000 years.
1066.
You'd fuck shit up. Like 10,000 years, sort of more Nathaniel kind of hunter-gatherer times, you get fucked up because those guys were freaks, right? But yeah, you want that sort of like human beings become a bit soft
Also,
vibe.
no fit gal. There was no fit gal back in those
Well,
days.
everyone would have been small and really stinky, like no one washed. So
That's what I was thinking. I was like, why even bother surviving like 1,000 years ago? You wake up in your fucking hay bed.
yeah,
The windows, you don't have windows. They're just little slits in your house that are just open
yeah.
or whatever. Like that's it. And then you have what? Water with cholera in it. And then eat what shit? Just like stuff you farmed, hopefully that doesn't have flies on it.
Yeah, and if the king doesn't like you, he can just like torture you for the rest of your life and then cut your
Yeah.
head off. Like
Yeah. What's your job? Like butcher?
peasant. No, it'd be like
Peasant.
peasant
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Yeah, just dung flinger. You just
Yeah.
have to move the dung around the village.
Be rough.
And what a shit life that. What do you even do? What's even fun? There's no football on.
You could lie, which would be good because no one could call you out on your lies. So you could just make shit up.
Yeah, that would be good. I'd become like a cult leader.
Yeah.
I'd start talking about the afterlife
Start
and
saying
stuff.
Jesus. Yeah, you'd be Jesus. 1,000 years ago, that's about right. Yeah.
What? Just say I'm Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Tell me I can't. What you want to do is you want to go back in time as Jesus, but with a lighter, and then job's good.
Yeah. Well, we talked about this before the podcast, like how you prove you're from the future. I mean, if you went like 1,000 years, it's maybe a bit easier, but it's hard to do with
A few
100
hundred.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah. But maybe that was a pickup line in the medieval times of, them blokes being like, what say you, lady? Shall you go back to mine bed? and then they're like, doth thus that not know I am a Christian woman?
Yeah.
I'm Jesus.
Or like, getting into sick parties just by saying Jesus. Like,
Yeah.
I've hung out with
Yeah.
him.
You heard of Jesus, mate?
Yeah.
Fucking
Get
my
me on the
cousin,
list.
innit? Yeah,
Come on.
exactly. Yeah. What's my name? Ali of Nazareth.
Yeah.
Get me in. Get me in, mate.
Get me involved.
But I thought I'd be like, do you think you'd be doing well in 1,000? You'd be like a Goliath, like a
Yeah,
big
like
old bloke. They can't
I'll
be
be
that
I'll be
tall.
their Hercules. I'd
And
obviously.
they don't have gyms either, so we got good muscle mass.
Yeah, I just obviously I'd be putting. I would. Yeah, I would start out fighting, but then I would try and switch into wizardry and witchcraft because they were big into that at that point, and you could just lie.
Yeah.
And like they're all really thick because they all just believed it. And also, if you didn't like a woman as well, if a girl wronged you, just say she's a witch. Job's good in.
Well, I do that anyway now. I just do a YouTube video discrediting them.
Yeah. Look at this. Look what she did here. If I slow it down,
Yeah.
I slow it down. Witch. Absolutely.
Which exactly? I just use all. I've learned video editing skills. Oh, for your podcast recording? No. To defame Fiona, who really annoyed me. What do you mean I'm not fun?
Yeah. Well, Fiona, you're a witch. I'm going to prove
the
it.
Four Thieves from Clapham was our date. Like that's literally the most fun place ever. We literally go karting. Fuck off.
Yeah, 4 times. 4 times,
Witch.
Fiona.
Witch. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. So you went down to Hastings. You did the battle reenactments. You did the tours. You made her then come to your gig. You've really treated her here. This is well done, honestly.
Shocking. Me and my so I don't think I've talked about it on the podcast yet, but I have. On the Patreon backers will know because they're super in it. And also we'll talk a bit about Dubai, Tom. But if you want to get the full Dubai debrief, and there's plenty to get your teeth stuck into there.
It's deep.
It's the whole episode.
Yeah.
Then you can subscribe to our Patreon for that episode. We did an extra episode every patreon.com/AIDIFpod. Just $5 a month, get your extra episode every week. But I've got a girlfriend now. They don't know this. I have recently become a relationship man.
A good old Christian fellow. That's what you've become.
She doesn't know it yet, but we get the same bus in the mornings. And I know she will fall in love with me.
Yeah, and you know where she lives and where she works. And they're the most important things,
Yeah, her favourite scarf.
Yeah.
She got new earrings recently.
Yeah, slowly but surely, you're sitting behind her on the bus and just cutting little bits of her hair, just little bits at a time.
Yeah, using for my witchcraft.
Yeah.
I'm an alchemist.
Yeah,
I'm turning that hair into voodoo dolls and shit.
When you give her a doll that looks like her made out of her own hair, that's going to be the best anniversary gift she's ever had.
Oh, mate, 100%. So I'm a relationship man now, and it's going well. And we met each other through comedy. She's not another comedian, but she's great.
Yeah.
And she lives very close to me, so that's useful.
You got very aggressive in your tone. She's like, she's great. She's great.
Okay, don't listen to the rumors going around. Her name's Amber.
Yeah.
She just recently got out of a relationship with a very famous man, and she seems really fine.
She seems like a laugh.
She's so
Loves
quirky.
to party. Loves
She's
big
so
party.
quirky and spontaneous. Yeah. The other day, she just left a flake on my bed.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, she's great. She's really good. It's a new relationship, but also, did you know this, Tom? I'm currently in the longest relationship I've ever been in.
Well, I mean, this is not surprising to me, but to the listeners, they may have thought at some point in his life he must have been in a relationship for more than 3 days. But no,
Yeah.
this is it. This is the first
He
time.
he must be joking. That must be some funny joke.
No.
But no.
We do lots of
honestly
kidding around on this podcast, like, telling you we're successful at comedy, that people listen to this podcast. But, you know,
thanking everyone for coming down on Tuesday when there was obviously no one there.
just us. But this is a real life fact, ladies and gentlemen. Ali Woods, Mr. Woods, is holding hands in the woods with a gal now, and this is wow. I never thought I'd see the day, honestly. You know, years and years went by where you were just like, no, mate, celibacy all the way, 100%.
Yeah. No, it's great.
What made you give up your celibacy? You know,
it's a good question, Tom. I tell you
what made you leave the incel forums? Those guys must have been pissed off that you'd gone as well.
I'm still there. Don't worry about it. You know when people hide?
No, but they know they'll forums. They'll know once you've got a girlfriend. They know.
Yeah, but they'll take it out on her. I'm all right.
Yeah, they'll smell it on you, and they'll be like, "You're a traitor. You've betrayed us."
Smell it. You smell like girl. Yeah, but they'll get rid of the fembot. They'll be like, that fembot has manipulated a good brother in Ali. They would have fucking loved it around Hastings. The knights, the knights of Hastings should have been there. That's why I was just sending them pictures, being like, lads, back when men could be men.
Yeah. They'll know as soon as you miss that first sort of like Warhammer lore fictional reading or whatever, fan fiction lore reading.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out Games Workshop. I actually read, of all the companies, I know the world is pretty in a bad place right now, but Games Workshop are giving all of their staff like a $3,000 bonus because they've done so well.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, fair. Good for them.
Yeah.
Good for them. Shout out Games Workshop. That's where we are in our podcasting now. Yeah. Big up Games Workshop. Yeah. Banging out those Warhammer.
Space Marine 4000.
Space Marine 4000. Yeah. Sick. Yeah. I had them. I had some of them,
Yeah, of course. I had loads. Painted them. I had all the Lord of the Rings ones.
Mate, really? Loser. You got Lord of the Rings ones, loser.
So cool.
Obviously, the Warhammer ones, the Space Marines were cool, but the
Lord of the Rings ones. Oh, that's where you draw the line, is it?
Yeah. I would get the Lord of the Rings ones. Oh, virgin? You're a virgin, mate.
We all were. I would say the percentage of virgins in Games Workshop as a sort of 13-year-old boy was particularly high. With
mate, 100%.
Not only the patrons of the shop, but also the people who work there.
Yeah. The Games Workshop Robot Wars Venn diagram very heavily mixed. There's a lot of middle in that. Those people. Games Workshop is the cat cafe for men.
Yes. You know what? That's what needs the crossover right there. Those people. This is it. The Games Workshop and the cat cafe people. You are bonding in a way that oh man. If you're in
Games Workshop boy, she was a cat cafe girl.
He liked Harry Potter. He liked Space Marines 40,000.
Yeah, 40,000. Yeah. They've gone well. They've gone really well. But yeah, no, you're quite right. What was it about my girlfriend? Well, we just really get on. You know that feeling where you're just looking forward to hanging out with someone, and I didn't want to mess around with someone, especially someone sort of who's working in comedy. But we were just able to hang out because we were close. We live close to each other. And
so it's good to know that the main bonding point was geography in your relationship.
Oh, that's what I say to her. I whisper that in her ear just as I'm about to come. I say, you're so logistically convenient.
Yeah.
I say,
you work in comedy, but not actually in comedy. We live close to each other.
Yeah.
I've done the math. I've done the analytics in my brain. And this is actually, there's a sort of 99% chance that all relationships fail. But I think you've hit that 1%.
You're in that, the 1 percentile. Yeah, that's well.
You're that like that. There's life on Earth because we're in the certain belt nearest the sun. We're in that life belt, and you match that.
Theoretically, it just might make sense, even though in common sense it wouldn't have. But yeah, no, I mean, I've I just really enjoy spending time with her. That's what the main thing is. We really get
Oh,
on. But that's what like our dates are like normally they're like PE lessons. They're like a lot of that stuff, like we've
what,
done
you have to
axe
wear your pants
throwing.
if you forget your kit?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, we done axe throwing, golf,
Oh, wow.
trampolining. So when we were in Hastings, we were playing who can throw a rock the furthest.
So basically, what you're saying is you haven't got a girlfriend, you just got another mate. You got one of your mates. You can be like,
I've got a sort of year 6 friendship with
yeah,
my girlfriend,
nice.
where we sort of go around on bikes and throw sticks around. Essentially what it is, because she's super competitive as well, super sporty. So
Okay, that's good.
so we're just like doing that. It's just everything's a
Got one of your
competition.
mates.
Yeah, we've literally got a running competition about like losing. Like we played each other at the pool. We had a regional night out, mate. So good in Hastings, right? I love
Mm,
it. I love when we've done it a couple of times, like going to these. So we went to Hastings and Brighton and Nottingham, where I had like previews, and she just came along and we stayed at night overnight. And we did the Yates night out in Hastings. Went for a couple in Yates on a Thursday,
wow.
mate. It was like seeing the cosmos, like seeing the universe, like the different characters. There was a couple of women who flyed us for a strip club when we were walking to Yates. Then we see them later in Yates with a load of lads, and we're like, "What is their deal? What's going on there?" There was the classic group of sort of 42-year-old blokes in shirts
Nice.
that didn't
Yes.
quite fit them, having Jaeger bombs and
Yes.
pints, and sort of like
The jeans that were
looking.
a bit too long with those awful flat black shoes.
Yeah, with the flat black shoes, exactly that, exactly that. Yeah, yeah. So they were there. Then there was just like kids. There was like they like I swear like 7. They were probably 18, but they just looked
Yeah.
so young and like first relationships and then being pulled around and then getting into dramas. There was a guy who we saw him go with a girl. Then another girl turned up and she went over to him and they were like, "Hey," and they were like together. And then we saw the other girl like losing the plot and then go into her mate and they went into the bathroom and
It's like
like I
Love
was like.
Island.
Literally, it was so good. And we just had a little corner. There was a woman just drinking on her own, just talking to herself. Didn't engage with that. I was like £10 to go talk to her. And she wouldn't take me up on that. But anyway, we
Party
played
time.
pool and I absolutely smashed it.
Good.
There's
Destroyed
none of
her.
that.
You can
There's
never
none
let
of
her
that.
win.
No, there's none of that shit where like, oh, take another shot. Oh, give another one. Like she like taps the white accidentally. I'm like, two shots. Turnover. That's your turnover. Idiot. You
You've
really set me
lost.
up here.
You've
You
lost.
know what I mean? Yeah.
Good. Good. Well, that's good. That's lovely. Going on nice competitive dates. I never thought a relationship with you would be anything other than that. But it's good that you found your person who can get on board with that. Some girls will be like, "No, Ali, like you've won. You don't need to
Yeah.
crush me."
Can't we just sit and talk
Yeah.
about life and no. There has to be some
We're
sort
gonna
of
play pool
activity.
again.
Literally, yeah. And then there's like another couple trying to get on. No,
Yeah.
we did reserve it, so
Yeah.
what can
Just
you
go
do?
for a stroll for the park. You just whip off your jumpers, like, right, these are the goalposts. I'll go in net first.
Literally, we did have that. We were in Richmond Park, and then I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna put this bottle in the bin," but the bin was way back, and I was like, "Time me and see how quick I can sprint." She said, what's it going to be? I said, will you give me a number? Like 60 seconds.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
I imagine this is a fair reflection of your sex life as well. Just
I would never have sex. I'm too tired by the end of the day.
Start.
Yeah, I'm too tired. I would never have sex. Nah,
Okay.
none of that shit. Boring. She's there like, ooh. And I go, well, fucking hell, do you see how quick I sprinted earlier?
Yeah.
I'm done.
I'm out. Good. Well, I'm glad you found your person, and I'm also glad that you beat the heat by going down to Hastings. I bought a giant paddling pool. Got it in my garden.
Did you actually?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Have you used it? Did you use it yesterday?
I used it yesterday. Will I
How
use
was
it
it?
today? Probably not. Will I use it again this summer? Unlikely. But
it's going to act as storage. That paddling pool will soon be storage.
Yeah, for frog spawn or whatever.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's one of them like comes up to you sort of like adult paddling pool things.
No.
It's like temporary pools. It's like one of them comes up to about waist height.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
No way. Where'd you get that from?
Argos.
Oh, fair.
It wasn't expensive, but
Is it?
yeah, it was like 45 quid. Worth
So
it.
were you just hanging out in there like
Just
yesterday?
sat in it all day.
Was it nice?
Oh,
yeah, it was
so good. So good yesterday. Perfect.
Yeah.
It's what you
Did
need.
you have the old baby in there? Did you have the baby in there?
Yeah, mate. Whole family, dog, baby.
Mate, what a picture.
I've got one of my girlfriend's friends staying from Australia now.
One of your girlfriends.
Yeah, I've taken a few tips to
I had-
Dubai. I've taken a
What?
few
Yeah,
tips to
exactly.
Dubai.
Yeah. What a pool that was, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm at the pool party, it's going to be a pool party. I'm not going to be messing around.
Yeah. Fucking, there's everything. Everyone's getting off. There's a dog. It's trippy. You know what I mean? Like fucking
Well, it's
babies
mad.
watching.
It's
It's
mad.
crazy. Baby's like, is that my baby? I don't know. There's too many babies.
I've always wanted one of those back gardens where like it's always like I remember during lockdown seeing like a video of like a builder and he had like built a temporary pool and then built like a rope swing over the top of it and just built like loads of random stuff in his garden. That's my dream.
Yeah, that'd be cool. You need some more land though for that.
Yeah, I don't really have the space. I've got basically the space for exactly that pool and nothing else in
You
the
can't really
tiny
open the
square.
door. Yeah. You can't really open the door. You've just got to jump into the pool.
Yeah.
Sort of from the first floor.
Why would you need it? Got to slide out my window.
Yeah, you're just like, throw the baby. I'll catch him. It's fine. Don't worry.
He's got to learn how to dive somehow.
So do you want to give a quick little
rundown, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, please sign up to the Patreon where I'll give you all the goss. But it was amazing. One of the best comedy trips I've ever been on. And I said it on the Patreon, but there were multiple occasions where I've done gigs in the UK. One of which, the disabled toilet was the green room. Here, I was eating 5-star buffets every day, 5-star hotels. I stayed in the hotel room or one of the places that had a living room in the hotel room. I got given a suite. I had a kitchen and a living room. I opened the door and I thought, they've given me the wrong room because this is just a living room that I've opened up to. And then I went through another door at the back of that room into the kitchen and then another door into my bedroom. Crazy.
Yeah. Insane. And what have you learned now you've had a week back? Have you done gigs back in the UK? How do you feel?
I feel like I should move to Dubai where you can be a balling legend.
King of Dubai.
Yeah. Well, I think there is one, but whatever.
You can't call yourself that.
No, you definitely can't.
Did you come back and go to the other alley and come on, mate? Let's just move out to Dubai.
I think I went back and I woke up in the morning and I was like, I've got to make my own breakfast. What's this? What is this?
You went down to the buffet. There's nothing there.
I cut my own fruit. What the fuck?
Yeah, worst buffet I've ever cut my own fruit. Worst buffet I've ever seen in my life. Just a few bits of bread out. That's what the hell.
0 oysters and lobsters. 0.
Yeah.
I've had 0 lobsters since I've been back, and that's very disappointing.
Yeah, fair. Well, I mean, I'm glad it went so well. Where's the? I mean, we got to plan the next trip. We got to do the AIDIF abroad anyway.
We should
still talking about the China tour, the sort of hail Xi Jinping. China.
One day we will do AIDIF. We'll take. I know where we're going to do it. Ibiza Rocks. So you know how like Stormzy sort of takes Ibiza Rocks for like a weekend. He does a couple of gigs Friday, Saturday night. We'll do a very similar thing for All I Do Is Fail. All I do is fail at Ibiza Rocks. Will the clientele be the same as the Stormzy crowd? Probably not, you know?
I imagine so, actually. Yeah, no, probably.
Yeah.
Similar. Probably more of a ruckus at ours. There'd be probably more atmosphere.
Probably, you know, few less pool parties, few more maybe podcast listening pool parties. Whatever, you know, that'd be fun.
Yeah. Ours would be the mother and children episode.
Yeah. Obviously, bring the kids, bring everyone you want. You know, bring the dog for a family-friendly place.
Yeah. That would be good. What would the theme be? We should get that back again. The holiday package, the
Butlins Adventure.
All I Do Is Fail, Butlins COVID Adventure. Yeah. COVID Adventure. But we need to do that maybe just for the official Ibiza, AIDIF to Ibiza sort of pipeline.
We could probably do some kind of coach trip scenario where we sort of are the bloke from Coach Trip and we get everyone on one coach. And then we go across Europe to Ibiza.
Yeah. In pairs, and they get voted off. We need to have something. We need to have something at stake. You can't just have a nice trip.
We're going to kick you out in the middle of France as we pass Toulouse. You're getting booed.
Yeah. It's not like a TV show where they have like a system to get people back. They're just like, you're out, mate.
Off you go. Yeah.
And then we get voted off like halfway through. How are they allowed to do that? It's our bloody coach. We're just in Belarus.
Yeah.
Just trying to get back to London with an interrailing ticket.
Yeah.
No, that sounds good. I think a coach trip thing would be good. I think there's definitely scope for maybe sort of more AIDIF games, like AIDIF sort of water park or
Yeah,
something like
an
that.
AIDIF summer party of some kind. That could be fun.
Yeah,
We should
yeah,
do maybe
yeah.
an AIDIF park meetup in the summer. That could be good.
Well, that's it. Max Fosh, a patron of this podcast, and he's
Yes.
someone who's come on. He's got to 1 million subscribers, and he's having a on YouTube. And we obviously we don't sell out like that. We don't want to.
Not some
We're
loser.
not doing it for the subscriptions. We're
Whatever.
doing it for the people, for the
Yeah.
actual people who matter.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, he's playing. What's he playing? What venue did he just announce? I saw it was like,
London
2,000
Palladium,
seat
I think.
Palladium.
London
Whatever.
Palladium. Not for me.
Whatever.
Not for me. The it's lost in that size of room. The magic.
You know what we need? 50 seats in Hastings. Okay.
Yes, with the bars still open, so you can
Yes.
sort of.
Yeah,
it's
we'll
sort
never
of,
shut a bar at our gig. That's
No,
guaranteed.
exactly.
That's guaranteed.
Yeah, the pub doesn't actually know it's on, so
Yeah.
we turn up and we're like, "Have you got everything ready?" They're like, "For what?" And you're like, "The live recording." We have to share one mic between us.
Yeah.
That's our thing, and there's sort of like 7 people there to watch, and there's a much larger group of people who are there for Susan's leaving do.
Yeah.
Who we have to keep telling to shut up.
Yeah.
And try and corral them into watching that's our vibe, and that's where the magic is alive.
That's where we excel as comedians, in that space. You know,
Yeah.
none of this 2,000 seats. That's too many seats. It's way too many. Can't be funny to 2,000 people. Rubbish.
No. We can't. You literally, I can't.
I excel at sort of 12 to 50. That's perfect numbers for me.
It was funny because last time I was in Hastings, I was opening for Russell Kane, and I was doing the White Rock Theatre they have there.
Yeah.
Do you know how many seats are at the White Rock Theatre in Hastings?
Or let me 800,000.
1066.
Oh,
They've got
lovely.
1,066 seats.
Good.
So last time I was doing that was sold out, and this time I was doing a pub.
Great.
Just
Swings and roundabouts.
with the bar still open. Yeah.
Whatever.
But they were nice. They were super nice, man. They were super good. So yeah, we'll have to do something like that.
So what's Max doing? He's doing some kind of garden party meetou?
I'm not invited. No, I just
No.
No, I think I only know because my girlfriend was saying that her housemates are going. It's not like I don't think it's like an exclusive thing. He's just having like a party, like got to 1 million subscribers. So come down and grab some drinks, and he'll probably be filming it and stuff
At a venue.
I assume so. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's happened already.
A million.
This was a couple weeks ago.
I think when you're his size, it's quite it's almost dangerous thing to do. Like that, it causes a riot.
Well, we have to buy tickets. Maybe it's a ticketed event.
Yeah, that's why we
So
saw it.
I don't. It's not. No, yeah, no. It's not going to be at his house or anything like that.
He puts his address. Like, come on down, guys.
We do that every week. House party at ours.
No one ever shows. Very annoying.
We're there just like polishing off a vodka and Fanta fruit twist, just playing
Spin the bottle with each other. That's it.
Yeah,
Nothing else.
yeah. Playing Running Up That Hill, Kate Bush.
Yeah.
If we play music, that's going around. Everyone will like us.
Yeah. Shout out Kate Bush getting to number 1. That's amazing.
Getting someone again. I saw the stat there that she is now the youngest woman to have a self-written song at number 1.
Amazing.
At 19, and the song was Running Up That Hill.
Wow.
And she is now also the oldest woman to have a song at number 1 that she wrote herself, which is Running Up That Hill at 63. She's 63 now. That's how to do it. Bring it back.
Yeah. Well, for the first time ever, because of all this stuff, like Spotify was saying, because of streaming, old music is being listened more than the new music releases.
Oh, wow.
Because like people are just, because there's so many people, obviously older people on streaming services now, they just listen to what they like. And there's more old people than there are young people. So they listen to what they like. And that's quite an interesting kind of. I think there'll be a lot of artists who were big in the 80s. Look, Spandau Ballet are looking at each other in the eye, being like, "Fucking hell, lads, we got to get on. We got to get on Strange Things. We got to get on something big."
Oh, yeah. They're all these. There's all these 70-year-olds just putting their music into Stranger Things. Please,
come on,
please do us. Can we do an episode where they get saved by someone going, I know this. Much is true.
Spandau Ballet are due a comeback. I'm telling you, they need one.
They already did come back. They did. Do you not remember the late noughties where all the bands were coming back? I think it started with Take That,
right?
And then everyone realized, oh, we don't need to release new music.
No,
you just need to do the same songs that people know. And now we've got to the point with ABBA, you don't even need to be there.
Yeah, just CGI yourself. Apparently, George Michael as well. They're in talks to do CGI George Michael.
He still crashes into snappy snaps.
Yeah.
No, hologram George Michael.
George, don't
He's
do
on the
it.
rampage. The hologram George Michael has been found in the men's toilets of a park. Hologram George Michael is loose.
Keep it 100% authentic. That's what I'd rate that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
It'd
you
be
need
good
the
if
offstage.
if they brought back all old pop stars who had died, but with their demons as well, just like to make it 100% real. Just like John Lennon coming back and just being really sexist or something.
Yeah. They've got to be authentic. They've got to be to the point. I want them to do the interviews and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like just the hologram, load of these holograms, like these blokes coming back super sexist, super like they're being interviewed by like a female interviewer, and they're like, "What's going on? Where's there's normally like Carson or something, like some bloke talking to me. Yeah, what's going on?
What's hologram Michael Jackson doing again? Oh, Michael.
Yeah. Michael,
can you come over here, please, Michael?
Yeah, de-aged Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Don't do that
Oh,
now. But yeah, we certainly will be a hologram Michael Jackson at some point.
100%.
Right, should we move on?
We will move on. But,
with our lives. I also want to say this one. Well, you weren't here. But last week we had fail mail and we had Dr. Matt Hutchinson on the podcast. So we had a fail mail of funny medical stories.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of people sent in lots of fun stuff, and we had Matt on hand to be like, "Does that happen? What's going on?" Now we had one about. So I'll read out in case you missed it. But this is from. Well, really the queen of yard work herself, Charlou, who sent in, the one who's got this. I also think people have started sending in pictures of their yard work, so I think we need to sort of display those somewhere.
Yeah,
if you've got pictures of your yard work, then send them in.
On the we want before and afters as well. We want none of this. Don't just show me the after. I want before and after because you could have moved.
The celebrity listeners we need to get are those. Is it Indonesian? Those guys who build like pools and just they dig and have these. That's who we need as our celebrity listener.
Yes,
them to come in.
Build a palace with a swimming pool out of sand.
Yeah. That's our sponsorship. So this is the original story. I once went in for an ultrasound and the intern spent 30 minutes and couldn't get a good image even after rubbing the wand all over my pregnant belly. The ultrasound technician came in to troubleshoot, took one look and said, "That's an anal ultrasound wand." So then Matt said, "There's no such thing as an anal ultrasound wand." I don't know what they're talking about.
Right.
Charlou's come back. "Hey there, I just heard the pod. I hate to be that guy, but there is such a thing as an anal ultrasound wand. Maybe a regional difference, but for your knowledge." And then sent a link to Halo MedTech / ultrasound wands.
Wow.
And it's for anal versions.
Wow.
And that's what they look like there.
I mean, they look pretty like they're for anal use.
Look pretty anal.
Yeah, that's not. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Well, maybe
they start calling them a probe. That's not good, is it? It's not. You never want them to say that at the hospital. Let me just go get the probe.
Yeah, please, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, 12-inch one, please.
Yeah,
12-inch.
If you do have any other medical issues, send them in, and we'll refer it back to Dr. Matt and get him to maybe do a voice note in. Keep Dr. Matt as a regular segment on the show.
It's true. Well, because he does listen, so he will know now that you've been schooled, Matt. And really, I think they should take away your medical license.
Yeah. Matt spent his whole life, his whole career, just giving ultrasounds with the anal wand and like not knowing.
Yeah. He's like, that is the only one. What are you talking about? That is how you do an ultrasound. So thank you very much for sending that in, Charlie. And if you want to school us or anything, then please do get involved. Get in touch.
Please get involved, get in touch. Right, this week we are going to move on to Agony Uncle, but not in a weird way, ladies and gentlemen. Agony Uncle, but not in a weird way. Did we get anything on the AIDIF Instagram account?
Yes.
Good.
We have one here. Do you want me to read it out?
Yeah.
I didn't. There's no fail mail this week, guys, because of the palaver with everyone coming in and out and the studio and stuff. So we're just doing Agony Uncle. But fail mail will be back next week. Well, I'll save that. We've actually no. Phoebe's not going to be coming back. To be fair, but
Phoebe's been sacked.
She's back. She's off for a couple of weeks doing festivals because she
loser. No dedication.
Exactly. You know what I mean? She's ridiculous. She's going to come back all revitalized and be like, "Oh my god, I had this amazing time." We're going to just slowly crush that again.
Crushing those dreams. Oh.
But we talked about how someone came up to her and was very nice about Phoebe, and Phoebe said she's got to try and learn how interact with people, because she was sort of like, why do they know me?
I
And,
like the emergence of Phoebe as becoming more and more recognized because of this podcast. You're
Oh,
making
yeah.
this happen. If you see us out in public, you can say hello if you want, whatever, we'll be nice. But it's Phoebe you really want to go after. If you see Phoebe in public, you've got to give her a big hug. Them's
big
the rules.
hug. Tell everyone, it's Phoebe. Shout it at
Yeah.
strangers. It's Phoebe.
Yeah, and just Phoebe as well. That's what we want her to be known as. I don't want no second names, please. She's going to be like Cher or Prince. It's Phoebe.
Yeah, exactly. One of my favorite ever jokes on Never Mind the Buzzcocks, Simon Amstel, where he's like Cher, Beyonce, Prince, you know you made it in pop when you're known by one name only. It's Sophie Ellis-Bextor.
So yeah, there was such good joke writing in that. And
yeah, just the meanest of it. Anyway, so this is from Catherine. Woo! Thanks for the shout out, Phoebe. I can only apologise for my approaching a celebrity tactic. It clearly needs work. Don't apologise, Catherine. It's not on you. This is a producer Phoebe thing. PP. She will get used to her fandom. Don't worry. And if anything, we're creating a monster, because soon she'll come out and she'll be like, I'm too big for this pod. She'll start her own podcast.
Yeah.
That's what we don't want to happen. She'll just have the Phoebe pod. Suddenly our listenership goes back down to 2.
She steals the entire listenership, starts it with her mate, and they just talk about raising money for plays and stuff.
And plays and shit. So this is one we've got on the AIDIF for Agony Uncle. I can't decide between moving central to a fancy apartment or buying a property in zone 3 or 4 or 5. Sounds like such a posh problem, but please help. So this is from someone here who is having an issue with property. It's not a bad problem, is it? So I think moving and renting a nice plush apartment in London, in central London, or biting the bullet and going and buying a flat, but it would be out in sort of zone 4 or 5. Okay. What do you think?
My economics nerd hat would say that the housing market is going to be set on fire in September when
Why September?
Rate hikes come in. So just everything's going to be fucked. I mean, we're already in a recession and we're completely fucked, but September could be real gloomy. So I'd wait it out, wait nearer to Christmas before you think about buying somewhere, because you could get a nice little dip in the market. I'm not talking loads, but maybe like 5-10% or something.
But then if all the houses dip and everyone starts trying to buy them, then doesn't that make it just go up again?
Well, yeah, but I think the only way that housing dip is that if we go into a massive recession, so no one buys in a massive recession, like people won't have the money to buy us, because like everything will go down, housing is always a reflection of like salary and the state of the economy. But yeah, so we're totally screwed. But we already know that. We know that. Like everyone, if you're listening to this, you've been listening long enough, the economy is currently on fire. So yeah, I'd wait a bit. Just rent for life, mate.
Rent for life. That's the top. Buy pools. Get your pool property ownership.
Yeah.
Like Tom, paddling pools.
40 quid from Argos.
That's where Tom will be living in about 4 years' time.
Exactly. I'm going to flip it upside down in the winter, and that's a solid shelter right there.
It's like an igloo. Yeah. It's cool. We're having fun. It's an adventure. Stop crying.
Who needs inside? Really?
Yeah. It's a luxury.
Yeah, come
outside with it. I mean, I feel like you should just buy those somewhere, shouldn't you? Like, if you can afford to buy somewhere, shouldn't you buy? I mean, I'm nowhere. I think and my girlfriend's not rich either, so I think we're just never gonna.
Not in the stars for us.
Yeah, literally. Yeah,
I would. Yeah, I mean, if you can afford to do it, but I'd wait a little bit. Wait a little bit. Just that's my advice. Wait a little bit, see how we go, because we don't know what's going to happen right now. It's a very up in the air time. What's the harm in waiting 6 months? Give it. Yeah. That's my sage advice. But yeah, look, if you're a baller and you can afford to buy a big fancy place, do what you want, because it doesn't matter.
Fair. Are you going to go try and buy a place then?
I mean, I did try, and then that epically failed because and now housing prices have gone up so much in like the time period that I actually can't afford anywhere. So no, I don't think I'm going. I think I'm going back to mum and dad's. Whatever. Cool.
Wherever you buy, you need the studio room. You need for
exactly. Well, that's the big issue, because got to get a whole extra bedroom. That's what.
Yeah. She's like, and this is where Teddy can sleep. And you're going, okay. But in your head, you're like, no, that's what we're going to do.
That's going to build the AIDIF studio.
Going to record lit podcasts. cameras, But he needs new school shoes. Yeah, but we need a new camera. The content looks shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
An
Think
investment.
about it. Yeah, exactly. Kids, they don't live forever. Content will never die.
Exactly. It's timeless. We could be coming back in the 80s, 30 years later, like Kate Bush from the 80s.
Exactly.
We're before our time. That's the issue.
yeah, that's the issue. We're definitely not irrelevant.
No.
That's the issue.
We're going to come into our own in about 30 years.
Yeah. So I think we solved that one by basically telling her to do two different, completely opposite things. So there we go. That one's solved.
Done, dusted.
What you should do is wait and also, buy it now. So that's the two things I think we should do.
Wait. That's what I say. Wait. Right. I'm going to move on to some Agony Uncle centered on mine. Okay. Here we go. I'm 26 and my younger sister is married. I've never been kissed, not for lack of trying. What do I do?
Wow. Come on, Tom.
No, Ali, this is your domain. 26 and never been kissed. This is perfect.
Mate, I'm a relationship man. You know what I mean? I don't know what it's like to be single. I'm just the old ball and chain. I'm envious. I'm jealous. I wish I was 26 and looking for a kiss.
Oh.
But yeah, okay. Here's this. I have friends in this situation.
Right.
Had a comedian last night.
Friends. Yeah.
Had a comedian last night. I was like, "How's everything going?" And he was like pissed and just went, when was the last time you had sex? I told him, and he was like, "Well,
yesterday
fuck
with
you."
my girlfriend in my bed.
Yeah, literally, he was like, "Well, fuck you." So we've all been there. Okay, never been kissed. Right. Well, the thing to know is it's going to happen. It is going to happen. Right.
Okay.
What you've got to do is focus on yourself.
What
life.
If you're thinking I'm one of those people who never gets kissed? That happens.
It doesn't happen, mate.
Does.
It won't happen. You will get kissed.
Okay.
100%. Even if you need to tell a mate to do it, whatever, just get it done.
Okay.
That'd be nice.
Get it done.
What we don't know about this person is they've actually had sex. They've just never been.
It's a hygiene thing.
Yeah. But it's a tough thing. It's tough to play on the old mind when you're in that. You feel like, am I just? No one wants me ever. Tough.
Yeah.
We've had dry spells and stuff like that, and it builds up. But it will happen. Focus on yourself, right? There's two things you can do. Okay. One is when you acknowledge that it will happen, is just do what you enjoy about life that makes you happy. And eventually it will come around. People are attracted to people who are having good lives, enjoying themselves, who are confident in their own self and life. So if you do that, you will become more attracted to everyone else as well. I believe that 100%. That is one method. The other method, strategy.
Okay.
Tactics.
Ball gaming. Okay.
Ball gaming. I don't know what this person
So you go into the club. You go into the club. Okay. The
don't
club.
go to the fucking,
No, you're going. That's where everyone goes to get kissed. The club. Tiger, Tuesday night. You're there. Okay.
No, I don't know
whether
I don't know whether the person's gender, sexuality. I don't know what they're into, right? But what you do, you get a personal trainer, you get new outfit, new clothes.
Okay.
You get yourself new haircut. You do the things that are going to make you strategically more conventionally attractive.
Conventionally,
and you'll be fine.
Conventionally, I would say this person, from the looks of it, I'm making an assumption here, would be of a female gender, but I'm making an assumption that
you are cancelled.
I know. I'm over. It's game over for me.
Disgrace, honestly.
Sorry.
You? You shouldn't even use that word, female.
Yeah.
The F word. It's not.
Sorry.
Terrible. Well, look, you will get kissed. Definitely.
Yeah.
I was chatting to my mate who works at Bumble on product design. And I was like, what are the tips? Not for me, obviously. I was like, what are the tips? What are the tips for guys? Because I have mates on Bumble. And he was saying the tips, and apparently it's like, don't take selfies, take photos of you doing activities, and also don't be very sure on what you want. So if it's like what you're into, something casual, a relationship, don't know. Don't say don't know for any of those questions. Like, are you like, if you say, because my mate had his profile, I was like, I'm not sure what I'm looking for, I'm agnostic, and it was like, no one likes that. People want certainty.
Certs, yeah.
And then I went, oh, what's it like for the women? He was like, oh, they don't need tips, they'll just get matches.
Well, like on every dating app, like statistically, it's sort of like an 80-20 split, isn't it? Like it's like way more dudes than there are girls on these apps. So,
So look, you will get kissed. The thing that you've got to ask yourself is, right, is this psychologically an issue for me? And why have I got this barrier? Because a lot of it, I think, is just the confidence, man.
she
It's
could be
not that,
feeling because her sister is married, who's younger.
yeah.
So,
But it's not that no one's ever wanted to kiss you. I believe that. And I have that with other mates. It's not that no one's ever wanted to kiss you or not sleep with you or whatever. That's definitely not the case. It's definitely not the case. But there might be something holding you back from recognizing that someone's into you. How's your self-esteem doing?
what
There's
if it
something
is?
also where if you have an unrealistic standard of what should be your first kiss or your first sex or whatever, then that will always hold you back. If you're waiting for some perfect person like Prince Charming or whatever, but like you're just gonna have to settle for Darren in Tiger bathrooms. Like that is what's gonna happen. But
So
like, as in, you
this
should be with someone you're comfortable and you trust.
Mm.
But if you aren't willing to, have your own aesthetic and body image and work on it and try and look conventionally attractive that way, then how can you expect everyone else to just want to be with you because you're like a nice person? It just doesn't work like that, I'm afraid.
So this person's aesthetic, it looks like she has sort of a tattoo of white power on her forehead, and now that could potentially be
and
a
I
barrier.
think she's South Asian. I
Yeah.
think. So she's really being desperate with the white blokes in the
Yeah.
UK. Please. Well, but look, man, like, firstly, white power people should be horny anyway. They're fucking dogs, those lot.
Yeah.
But look, man, like, it's just, you got to understand it will happen. And I think a lot of this stuff is comfort in yourself. You've had mates, Tom, I'm sure you've had mates where you're like, how the hell has he pulled her or done that or whatever?
Oh yeah, I've got.
And it's so much is about confidence in yourself. It's about that belief. They go out and they're like, yeah, they want to get with me, even though they might not. And eventually the other person agrees.
Yeah, I mean, I have one friend who works in finance, shock, and went from recruitment to finance. So that tells you everything you need to know.
Good
And,
bloke. Good lad.
And conventionally, you wouldn't be like, that guy's really attractive. But this man, I mean, 10 out of 10. It's just pure confidence, just absolute, unadulterated confidence.
Yeah.
Doesn't even think twice about it. Just
you got to believe.
Yeah.
You got to believe, man. And look, I'm not averse as well. If you got friends, if you just want to kiss someone, just ask a mate if you can. I think that's all right.
Yeah.
What would you do, Tom, in this situation?
kiss
You
my-
lost your
my
virginity
dog.
when, what, 25?
My dog. I would kiss my dog. What?
You do kiss your dog,
I
yeah.
do.
Be in the pool really romantically, holding him up.
He loves it. Yeah. Look, everyone goes through those spells. Everyone has those spells of like, especially with girls, of like, oh, am I just a hideous monster? You know? And like, the first guy you get to kiss or the first girl you're going to kiss probably isn't going to be the one, But
No,
you
don't build it up like that.
don't build it up like that. It's sort of you got to build some confidence somewhere. Just go out there, see if you meet someone that you think is all right. Just start there, okay? He doesn't have to be Prince Charming straight away. You don't need to find the guy, straight out the gate. Very few people do. You just got to find a guy, or a girl, and
have that confidence in yourself that you're going to be okay. This isn't going to define you.
No.
So it's all about that self-belief, and you got it. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. Okay. There's no rush. There's no people. This is what I say to my friends who are getting like a bit pressurized or whatever, that other people are getting married, their friends are getting married. And I'm like, bro, it's all well and good these people being first to get married. People are going to get divorced. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So it's not like it's happily ever after for everyone. It's not like
I've been to Dubai. Everyone's divorced. There's no one's not divorced there. It's crazy.
Tom came back, his girlfriend had left him.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
That's what happens. She was actually out in Saudi.
Yeah. Weird. It didn't tell me.
The sheikh.
Yeah. Right. So just confidence in yourself. Okay. Just quickly before we go, we're going to do one more Agony Uncle. We're going to do one more Agony Uncle because this guy sent in quite an interesting one. He said, I'm currently being sued by the Mormon church. So
we're going to get him.
Yeah.
And we're going to get him.
Yeah. So I asked for a bit more information and he said, sure. Okay. So I was a member since I was 18 and worked for them for 2 years in their head office in London. I didn't even know the Mormon Church had a head office in London.
Oh, they all do. But these religions, they have so much money.
Okay, and so in the head office in London, and they fired me because I didn't agree with what they said about women having the priesthood. So that's why they fired him, because he disagreed with women not having the priesthood. Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were like they allowed women to have priesthood. And he was like, I don't believe in that. Okay.
Yeah. So and as a result, he's currently suing the Mormon Church for, I guess, misconduct. But yeah, that's pretty crazy. Yeah. Crazy suing. I didn't even know you could. How it must be very difficult to sue the Mormon Church.
Wait, so he's suing them?
Sorry, he's suing them. He's suing the Mormon Church for misconduct. No, for wrongful firing.
Firing.
That's
Surely they just go and they'll be like, "This is God's work," and then what can you say?
Well, it's quite interesting. I guess in America they probably get away with that, but you have to sort of follow British law here, so you can't just sack people because they disagree with something.
Yeah. Go to tribunal. That's so funny. The Mormons all rocking up in their white shirts with all their wives.
Yeah. Going to a work tribunal would be hilarious if it was just like people being fired for nonsense in a corporate job, and then in comes this guy and the Mormon Church.
The Mormon Church. Wouldn't you just be there being like, guys, this is really silly. Okay, come on, let's just pretend. Stop pretending now.
Yeah.
Well, so this guy joined the Mormons at 18.
Yeah, worked in their head office.
Interesting guy. I want to meet this dude.
Yeah.
So what would I do in this situation? Well, I mean, but what does he want out of it? Does he want to go back to being in the Mormons? Is that what he's saying, or he's just getting some money?
I think he wants compensation.
Maybe he played it really well. Maybe he never was a Mormon, and he was just like, "I'm going to work for them. I'm going to purposely disagree with something, so they fire me, and then I'm gonna sue." Well, guys like Robin Hood.
You're a genius, sir. You're a genius.
Yeah. Firstly, I'd say well played to the man, and then what can I help? I can't help legally, can I? What can we say? I wish you best of luck in the court proceedings.
We hope you win.
I would say record it, get as much PR around it as you can. That would be quite good, because I think this is quite a good it's quite a good thing to be like, I want to modernize religion, because a lot of people are religious, and it'd be good to, they want to be inclusive. So I would say try and get some PR around it. Maybe reach out to some newspapers and stuff.
That's true.
Because it's a good headline, Mormons sued or something like that.
Yeah, suing the Mormons. That's the Daily Mail all over it, surely.
Yeah, exactly. What's the play? What's the musical called?
Book of Mormon.
Book of Mormon. Yeah, just go. Yeah, just get involved with them. Ask them if they can do a dance or something.
Yeah. Well, Book of Mormon. The Mormons loved Book of Mormon because it was more PR for Mormons than they'd ever had before in their life. And actually, the percentage of people joining the Mormons increased. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Funny. Oh, funny. So, yeah. What I mean, I'd say go for the PR angle. Get as much PR behind your support, and I think that would be fun. And then do the same with loads of other groups. Go to the Scientologists next.
Yeah.
And then when you're on like your 6th religion, like joining the Jedi religion, and they're like, so you have sued the last 5 religions you work for, and he's like, I promise this one is the one for me. He's there with like a gold necklace.
I know I've betrayed you so many times, but this one is.
Look it up. If you can find it in your heart, in God's heart, and he rolls up in his Bentley 2 years later, I'm suing you. I'm suing the Jedi Council.
Winding everyone up, 666 as his license plate.
Yeah. He's changed his name to Judas. That's what he's called. Yeah. What would you do? I mean, what advice would you have for someone who's suing the Mormons?
Yeah, I'll go with you. Media circus. I want full media coverage. Yeah. Me versus the Mormons. You want that everywhere. Go full blown with it. Start on Instagram. Start a TikTok.
Yeah. Turn up in a nice crisp white shirt tucked in with the black to mess with them. Look more Mormon than any of them. I think that'd be good.
Yeah. Go from there and see. Hopefully you'll win. I reckon the Mormons have probably got, like any organized religion, they got a shitload of money. So you're not going to struggle to get a few quid out of,
I feel like you could get the Jehovah's Witnesses involved. I'm not sure how. I just feel like they could be used in some way. Maybe get them to knock on doors of the Mormons.
Maybe that's it. Maybe sign up to another religion and fight. Yeah. Bring them in to
fight them in. Yeah. And then double cross them. And that'd be so good. I mean, I'm big up to this dude. I want to hear more about him. We should get him on the show.
I'll get a follow up as the court case goes on and find out if he wins. The state of the Mormon Church.
When the Mormons win and then they come for our podcast as well, then we're in trouble.
Next week, we're going to have head of the Mormon Church on. He's going to come down.
Fail mail with
Yeah.
the head of the Mormon church, where we're like, what's the craziest thing someone said to you in bed? And then he's just like going,
Which
he's
wife?
just like,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think it was wife number 2. Well, the God said to me, put a
Mm.
finger up there. And also, yeah, we do say, and people do message, if you sent in an Agony Uncle and it's developed, let us know how it's developed. We want to hear. We want to hear
We
what's
want
going
the
on.
follow-ups, please,
We want the
please, please,
follow-ups.
please. Any follow-up to your situation or
Yeah.
any movement on it, we want to know about it.
Absolutely. But as for this episode, we're at the end. We're done for
Benito.
a throwback remote episode. Reminds me of the lockdowns, pandemic. And thank you very much for listening. We really appreciate it. If you want an extra episode every week, you can donate to our Patreon, patreon.com/AIDIF for just $5 a month. And we run on regular Tuesday nights at Vauxhall Comedy Club. So you're more than welcome to come down. And thank you for everyone who has.
Yeah. We will see you next week in the studio. If you've got any challenges you'd like me and Ali to do, for instance, if you're like, these two need a challenge that ideally they can do in the studio and record,
I was
send
going to
it in.
say,
We'll do it.
join the Mormon church. Live from the Mormon church.
People are going to, one of you has to join Scientology and one of you has to join the
Yeah,
Mormons.
Yeah. See who gets more powerful. We have 6 weeks to become head of our local districts
Yeah.
of the Scientologists or Mormons. That'd be good. But yeah, please do send them in. That'd be
All
good
right.
fun.
Thank you very much, guys. This has been All I Do Is Fail. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.